state of mind. Go in a state of mind. Go in a state of mind. Go in a state of mind. Well, hello. We are back once again. It is the Racing Club UK podcast with my name, Darren Paul. I'm joined by the main man, the man who keeps the filial going, the beating heart, the beating soul, the corazon of this filial. Other than Laura, of course, naturally, we have to give our love and appreciation to everything that Laura does. Nacho Tierno, how are you, my friend?
I'm excellent, Darren. Very happy to see you again. It's been a while, actually. I think we did one podcast during the pandemic, and it was football was still up in the air when the return of football was up in the air. But now, luckily, we have something to watch and to entertain us a little bit. It's not yet what I would call normal. But at least it's something that keeps us busy, thinking of our passion, and I'm not against that.
Not at all. To be honest, I've had an absolute summer of sport. To be honest, with the basketball primarily, with the women's basketball in America.
Yeah.
Obviously, being lucky enough to interview the best players in the world at basketball has been an absolute joy and a privilege for me. And now the football is back in a big way. Argentina's coming back. Copa Libertadores is back. International football is back.
Sudamericana will be back as well.
Sudamericana's going to be back. Though we don't want to think about that. We don't want to have those bad vibes. Not right now. We've got a comment, and if you're watching this live, or if you're watching it on catch up on demand, or listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, give us a comment. We read them all, and we'll get back to you if it's appropriate. Pablo.
Yes.
Coppola. Viva la Academia Racing Club Carajo desde Kettering. Lovely old job. Racing fans in Kettering, of all places. That's awesome. You love to see that.
Yeah. Great to see Pablo joining.
Good to see Pablo joining, getting fully involved. Pablo, any comments, any questions, anything you want to say, get fully involved. You know where the comments are. They're just there. So, Nacho, shall we dive straight into it?
Yeah, let's kick off. You pick the subjects and we go through them.
So let's talk about the games, because that's what we're here to talk about. That's what we love. We love what is happening on the pitch. And we've actually had 4 games.
3?
We've had 3 proper games, 3 official games, and we've had a friendly this weekend against, was it Barraca Central?
Barraca Central. It was 2 friendlies. I had a feeling that it was 35 minutes and 35 minutes, something like that.
Okay. I think we won the first one.
We won both 1-0.
Oh, we won them both 1-0. Oh, okay.
We won both 1-0. The teams were a kind of a mix and match between starters and players who are normally not part of the best our starting 11. But we won both. I guess the idea was to give minutes to some players, so that was good.
So we had Leandro Godoy scoring.
The second friendly was a goal from Leandro Godoy.
And we had Chila Gomez playing amongst others. I'm not going to go through the whole lineup, but I think that's the name that stands out to me as Chila is back. He's back. He's playing football. I don't think he's going to see any first team this season. I'd be quite surprised.
No,
mate. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. We didn't think we'd see him the first time, to be honest. But
because Racing signed a second keeper, I think he's probably ahead of Chila in the picking order.
Could we see Chila go on loan to a
I think Chila will remain as probably the third option.
And playing the reserves.
He probably has the talent to be the second keeper, actually, but I think he's coming back from still from that injury. That wasn't a very unfortunate one. And and after Garcia left, Racing decided to get one more keeper as a backup keeper. Arias is, without a shadow of a doubt, our best keeper, and he will be starting every single match, I guess.
Our best keeper. He's the best keeper on the continent, mate. Like we keep saying this. He's
probably one of the top. Yeah, I agree with that. He's probably on the top 5. I'm still surprised. I'd say targeted by Brazilian teams, Mexican teams, MLS. I don't know why, but yeah, he has been great for us.
And I've seen some Mexican goalkeeping lately. Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's a mixed bag.
All right, let's get into this.
Let's get into. All right. Bloody hell, this guy. Actually, I was just going to say thoughts with Juan Musso, who joined the Argentina squad. I don't know if he'd have started any of the games, but joined the squad and did his. Was it a cruciate? He's injured.
Meniscus.
Oh, meniscus. That's the one.
Meniscus. Yeah,
so he's going to be out for some time.
When he had a surgery last week,
he
posted some pictures on his personal Instagram account. It's a shame, and it's in terms of timing, it's really bad because Musso had a fantastic season, the one that finished during lockdown, and there was a lot of expectation of him doing well again this season. But unfortunately, this could be a setback. But he's a very talented keeper, so I'm sure he will be back.
He absolutely will be.
Best, of course.
So wish him, like we say, wish Musso all the best. He's going to come out of this an even stronger keeper and probably a person. Let's jump into the games. So the first game was about 4 weeks ago now, 3-4 weeks ago. Hey, Nacho Tierno, he's an ancestral jet set. I mean, what can we do? It wasn't quite the return we were hoping for football in Avellaneda. However, I don't think we'd even played a preseason friendly. Like, we had no build-up to this game. It was a 1-0 loss at home against Nacional of Uruguay. Gonzalo Bergesio with a penalty. I can't even remember how the penalty was conceded. Was it a handball?
Potentially, if you look at this famous new rule, which I think every single fan in the planet disagree with. I haven't heard a football fan saying, I actually like the new rule. Like, no one likes the new rule. But the new rule established that, of course, it's all about the position of your hand and not the intention of playing the ball with your hand.
Yeah.
However, there's a couple of exceptions in that rule that when the ball, before touching the player's hand, touch any other part of the body, so there's a deflection on the, it's not a penalty, it's not a handball, and that's basically what happened. I think Martinez tried to put a sliding tackle to block a shot. Across. Sorry, I think the ball touched first his right hip, I'm going to say, and then his hand, who was raised probably a little bit, I wouldn't say above his shoulder, but kind of in that area, and the referee gave the penalty straight away. Last week I saw exactly the same penalty being given in Uruguay against Chile. So I don't know what the rule is, actually, because I saw that situation happening twice in South America. Different referees both gave a penalty. So no idea.
So it was his arm like behind him, stabilizing him as he slid?
It was at his side, kind of stabilizing because he was sliding. Yeah. So he clearly didn't try to kind of unnaturally cover more space than his body would do. But I guess the referee gave it because he thought the hand was in a not natural position. Whether the rules applies because of the ball touching first, no one knows. I have no idea.
Well, I think we're at a point with the handball law. Not to go into it, too deeply, but
So
we're at a point.
confused.
I mean, it is in certain. The idea was, let's make it absolutely uniform, absolutely clear. If your hand is outside of your normal silhouette or your natural silhouette, it's a penalty. Which, at first reading, you're like, okay, that's totally fine. Like, the arm's up there, you get hit, penalty. That seems reasonable to me. If it's within like normal. And again, this is where the basketball. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing it again. But there it is. Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, in basketball, you've got a cylinder. You've got like from your that sort of arms width, knees, hips, butt, that sort of cylinder space. That's your space. You're allowed to occupy that, and that is deemed like a natural position. If you extend your arm out, unnatural.
Yeah.
Which in football, we have in some cases, and then in other cases, they're like, oh, no, that was totally unnatural. It's like he's covering his face. It's like, well, he should take it in the face. I'm like,
yeah, I know. So that's one point. Covering the face is kind of a natural reaction, very difficult to sometimes. The other thing, if like I play football and defending normally involves running into space, trying to block a shot. When you do that, the last thing, unless you're in a really, really comfortable position, the last thing you would think about is the position of your hands. Because
absolutely.
Running to get to a space and then block the shot. In the process of getting to a certain position, your hands are all over because you're running. And that is what I think is the confusion comes, especially in those situations.
Mm. Well, there we go. We've like every football podcast going right now. We've spent time talking about the laws of the game. There was also a red card for one of our players, and I've completely forgotten.
Solari. Yeah, Solari got.
Yes.
Yeah, really soft yellow card.
Yeah. Oh, I was not a fan of that referee. I think I tweeted some things about that referee being on the take or something. It was very dignified.
Leaving aside the referee decisions that we disagree, and I'm not a big fan of criticizing referees that much. Racing played quite well the match, considering, as you say, there wasn't any previous training, any previous friendly. There was training, but it was very limited to the protocol that the authorities allow the club to use. So I guess considering all the limitations and considering the opportunity before playing Racing, I think they played 7 matches or 6 matches as part of their domestic league competition, and Racing dominated the match and should have.
I completely agree. I mean, 17 shots, 5 on target, 63% possession, and look at this for stuff: 539 passes.
Yeah, it's good.
Not bad.
Good performance. I remember getting frustrated with the result, but after when the match finished, I was like, yeah, I'm happy with this. We will get there, and eventually we got there. But that's part, I guess, of commenting matches.
So if Barcelona are looking for a new manager, Becca Sese, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
He's doing well. He's doing really well.
The problem with Becca Sese is, let me tell you what the problem with Becca Sese is. You know what I'm going to say. He dresses like the way he dresses, mate. Like, what are you doing? You got to dress like that. What are you doing on the sideline? Got to dress like a.
Actually, I think that was in the Argentinian media as well. I think there was some comments.
Yeah, it was. Obvious, just for the record, if anybody missed that, and I understand that was very subtle of me. Darren Paul of this parish does not think that Becca Sese needs to change any aspect of his attire or aesthetic. You do you, Sebastian Becca Sese. You do you.
Yeah.
What a look at the way this team is playing, and I've played under Becasese. Look at the Con Nueve game. Just look all of it. Do you think they give a crap what that man is wearing? Do you think they're like, "Ooh, those trousers are a bit tight. I don't know if I'm going to listen to Becasese today." No, of course not.
Yeah,
The
silly
Graham
thing.
Suit Argentine football punditry over there. Embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, no one should be allowed to comment on anyone's decision about dressing, hair, and any other stuff. So is one is silly. Number two, I think it's not very respectful. I'm completely against those kind of opinions. And I think we have someone else joining us. There's a message from
Cartel. Yeah, cool. Says,
it
"Hola."
sounds like an advert to me.
Hey, if they want to come sponsor the filial with like air conditioning or whatever it is, I'll tell you.
Going back,
I think it's really good. Unless we're complimenting on his tremendous fashion in suits. Just focus on what's happening of actual consequence and merit, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. Because after that game,
Darren, there's another message from Cartel asking whether Saracho is moving to Atlético Mineiro, and we are going to comment that in 10 minutes. So Cartel, stay with us 10 minutes, and we will talk about Saracho to Atlético Mineiro.
So. Hang on a second. Let me just. Boom. Just to keep you holding on. Okay. Remind me to edit that when I edit the podcast. What was I doing? Right. So, second game of the restart. Much better. Went away to Peru. Club Alianza Lima 0. Racing Club de Avellaneda 2. And for what was another incredibly comfortable game, we left it late. Thiago Benega, 87th minute. Benjamin Garre, the signing from Manchester City, getting it done. And again, Nacho, just talk us through it.
Yeah, I think we dominated the game, especially the first half. And I think the first half was a really good performance from Racing. We created 4 or 5 chances. We hit the post. And we actually missed a penalty as well. Reniero was a bit unlucky. He earned the penalty. But then he missed it, actually stopped by the keeper.
Oh, right. Let me pick you up then. Was it missed or was it saved?
It was saved, yeah.
Right, we've got to give respect to the way Becasese dresses and respect to goalkeepers, please.
Exactly. So apologies to all the goalkeepers and the union of goalkeepers at that.
Thank you. I speak on their behalf.
It was actually a good save from the keeper. It wasn't the best penalty I ever seen being taken, but it wasn't bad. I think it was a bit. Reniero kind of sent a message to the keeper, and the message and the keeper got it right. And then in the second half, I think the performance wasn't that good. We didn't create enough. I think we gave Alianza Lima a couple of chances, especially they were a little bit better counter-attacking. They could have scored at least one, but credit to Becasese again. He made a couple of substitutions. They paid back that because both Banega and Garret came from bench and scored the 2 goals in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game. But a very deserved victory. And 2-0, probably I'm going to say, yeah, it was fair, but could have been 3 or 4, because if you look at the first half, we were by far the best team on the pitch.
We've got a comment. And again, if you're watching this live, if you're watching this on catch up, and if you are listening to the podcast, make sure you get a comment in down below. We read them all, and we'll get back to you if it's a question or comment, or we'll bring it up next time. Laura Simadoro.
The heart of
genius,
the heart of Filial, Laura.
the beating soul of Racing Club Filial Londres says hi, guys. Hi, Laura. Love you loads, mate. Keep up your amazing work. Speaking of these little banners, so Nacho, as you may be aware, been playing a bit of Football Manager on the Racing Club UK YouTube and Facebooks. And if you want to join me playing a little bit of Footy Man, or Nacho even joining me, helping me out, because I'm terrible at Football Manager, because these are the sorts of decisions that I'm questioning. Okay.
Yeah. No.
For those listening on audio, I put a banner on the screen saying, "Do I sign Mariano El Tanque Pavone?"
No.
The genius.
No.
Shall we move on then?
Yeah, let's move into the next match, because we have more questions about Saracho latest news. So let's kill the Copa Libertadores first, and then we move into the Saracho.
Here it is. This was sweet. Going away to Montevideo to play against Nacional, the team that had robbed us, cruelly stolen a win, or at least a draw. And we didn't. Nacional 1, Racing Club 2, and it was Alexis Soto own goal on 53 minutes was their goal. Reneiro in the 17th minute, and Hector Fertoli in the 76th from the spot. Very comfortable victory in the end, a big 3 points, and I think a bit of a message sent to the rest of South America, being like, don't you worry, Racing Club de Avellaneda, we're coming for you, South America.
I think it was one of those wins that make you believe that the club can compete against strong teams. I think Nacional, to be fair, Nacional, before losing that match, I think they were unbeaten in something like 17 matches.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous like that.
Before the pandemic, right? So before the football stopped. But I think the previous match they lost was back in February. So I think it was a big win, considering what happened in the first match, considering the opposition, and considering the context, because it was big 3 points that now potentially can allow Racing to win the group. So as you say, a good feeling. I think everyone felt like, yeah, we deserve this, and it was a solid performance. It wasn't the best performance, it was a solid performance in a match that actually mattered. And again, against a team who had been playing for 2 months already, Racing with a couple of matches just before that one. So excellent result. Good that Reiniero managed to score. A very good performance from Fertoli, and a very brave penalty that I thought it was going to the stands, but luckily went in.
So the last time Nacional lost was on the 21st of November 2019.
Not February, but November. Okay.
November. That's what I found.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah. 1-0. Sorry, where's it gone? 1-0 away from home against Defensor Sporting. Yeah, Defensor Sporting. 2-1. My apologies. And Nacional went down to 10 men. So obviously a very quality opposition. And we've not mentioned who they've got playing in their midfield.
Claudio Jacob.
That's right, Claudio Jacob. Friend, not foe. Friend of Racing Club.
Yeah.
UK.
Yeah, former Racing player in the UK. So
former Racing player, former West Brom player, I think, just about as important.
And Nottingham.
And Nottingham, yeah, of course, played for Forest as well. I'd have liked to have seen him come back to us, but I hear Montevideo is a beautiful place to live.
I don't think. Honestly, I think Racing has better players than him. Yeah, it sounds controversial, but I think if you look at what we have in the middle of the pitch, Diaz, Miranda are better options. Even Dominguez as a defensive centre mid is a much better option. So unfortunately for Jacob, it was not the right timing to go back to South America because Racing had plenty of players in that position.
Oh, I think, was this the first time that we got to see Lorenzo Melgarejo, yet another Paraguayo, playing for Racing?
His debut was against Alianza, and he actually did very well in the first half. I think he was probably one of the best players in that first half that Racing played quite good football. I don't think he was that good against Nacional, but still, I think he's a very interesting player. I don't know if you agree with me, but it looks like a very interesting player.
I think so. And again, looking at who he's played for, he's had a career so far, hasn't he? Benfica, Kuban Krasnodar, Spartak Moscow for 4 years, and now joined the greatest football team in the world. So,
and he's a international. So he will be part of a team that I actually think they have quite a good generation coming. I'm not sure it's going to be good enough to qualify for the next World Cup because the South American qualifying are really, really tough at the moment. But he's part of a good group of Paraguayan players, I think.
Where was my boy Matias Rojas? What's going on with him?
So he got injured So when training restarted, he got injured. However, he recovered just before the match against Nacional, but he again had exactly the same injury. I think he pulled one of his muscles. I can't remember which one. During the first half against Nacional, so he came off at halftime. And now apparently he's fully recovered, so he will be playing against Estudiantes de Mérida.
Okay.
I'm expecting him not to start, maybe on the bench.
So, before we start Zaracho chat, I'm just going to share what I have just been sent sent by our good friend from River Plate Ingles.
Yes.
Talking Wolves, one of Wolves' sponsors, Aeroset, who's of course our title sponsor, are hoping to arrange a friendly tournament which could feature Wolves and Racing Club from Argentina. Mariano Longo, founder of Aeroset, has said it would be very nice, and we are already working so that we can do it. And that is via Marketing Registrado. This is something that we were speaking about in the chat, I think, earlier in the... Let me just fix that. My apologies. We were talking about that in the week. What do you make of it? Road trip to Wolverhampton.
It would be a dream. So
imagine
who is the owner of Aeroset? He's Rasman, and his company is now one of the sponsors of Wolverhampton Wanderers.
They're a sleeve sponsor.
It's not the main sponsor yet. And he's trying to organize a friendly between Wolves and Racing. He also has a lot of personal links to the UK. He used to live here. I think his kids are British or were born in the UK, so he still have some kind of he's sentimentally attached to this country. So I think it's also his dream, and we've actually been in touch with Mariano. Laura from the filial has been in touch with Mariano, and we've been talking a little bit about this possibility. We don't know anything yet. He has just been telling us what his dream is, and he's working hard to get this done. And if for the filial, it would be fantastic to host a filial event with people coming from all over Europe to watch Racing. Hopefully this friendly can happen. Calendar-wise, it's quite tough. But hopefully they can find a space in Wolves and Racing calendar. and hopefully by then we have normality back and we can have fans allowing to go into stadiums, and that would be a dream, as I say, because the filial might be able to host an event for all the filials in Europe.
And maybe they need a specialist Argentine English language commentator who specializes in basketball and Argentine football. Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, there's rumors. I think Mariano and Aerosets are working really, really hard to make this happen. Let's keep an eye on it. Fingers crossed.
All right. So Laura comes back in the comments. No, he is too old. That was about Pavone. He was too old when we signed him.
That's not
He was too old when we signed the tank. But yeah, I still got very excited about it. I loved it. Okay. Is it time to satisfy the questions of Cartel Air Cooled?
Yes. What's Cartel's question?
Matias Aracho en Atletico Mineiro of Brazil, one of the top sides in Brazil.
There's another comment from Cartel who is saying
Aracho was a request from São Paulo. Is he managing Mineiro now?
He's managing Mineiro, and they're league leaders. They're Brasileirao leaders at the moment.
So, Nacho, what's going on?
Well,
surely.
The press, the media are reporting in Argentina, all the specialized media in Racing, all the medios partidarios, like we call them in Argentina, have been reporting today that it's pretty much a deal that is done. Saracho will be moving to Atletico Mineiro, and it will be confirmed between tomorrow or on Wednesday, in the next 48 hours. Of course, we don't know yet. There's nothing official, but rumors indicate that is a fee that is around $6 million American dollars, I believe. But Racing will basically will receive 50% of a future sell. So if Saracho gets sold to Europe, Racing will get 50% of that transfer. So in theory, Racing will remain with that kind of 50% ownership of the player. And that's it. I also read that Saracho will not be getting his percentage. That is usually the player in South America receives 15% for that transfer. He decided to donate that to the club. Apparently, this is all. Wow. This is all gossips and rumors. So yeah, that's it's 6 million plus 50% of a future sale, and that's it. It's sad news. It's very sad news.
It is. We absolutely, obviously, such a fine heritage of players coming through the youth system, making it into the first team, and then going on to bigger and better things. I don't know about that necessarily, but going on to Europe and having a great career that puts them in the elite. I'm thinking about Milito. I'm thinking about Licha Lopez. Rodrigo de Paul, of course, who's absolutely crushing it in Europe right now. And that's just mentioning just three. Of course, Claudio Shakop had a good career in Europe as well. I'm a little bit disappointed to see him going to Brazil. I'm not going to lie. And for the 50% is great, but the $6 million, that seems a little bit low on where he's been at least. I don't think he's had the best, maybe 12 months in his career. And I think that's why his value may have dropped. But when I first read it, I thought it was Atletico Madrid. I was like, that's a great signing for Atletico Madrid. Like, that's a good place for him to be.
Yeah, I think I was talking to my dad before joining the podcast, and I think there's a reality that we need to accept, that transfers to Europe used to be big in the Argentinian league back in end of the 90s, but not anymore. And there's probably just Boca and River that get big fees for players that move to Europe. Maybe the exception was Lautaro Martinez, but Lautaro has the potential to be a fantastic world-class player, and you understand why Inter pay more than 20 million euros for him. But it's just an exception. And I think we need to accept that going forward, the Brazilian market, the Mexican market, and the MLS are probably going to be the destination for all the Argentinian good players that are. I think my feeling is that Racing was waiting for a offer from Europe that never arrived, and because of the crisis, they see this Atletico Mineiro offer as a good opportunity with some potential into a future sale that might bring some additional money to the club. I think we need to put this in the entire context of Argentinian football, pandemic, financial crisis, and especially the Argentinian financial crisis. All that together, I think it makes sense that we are selling Saracho for good cash.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just looking at it from I'm looking through European lens where I'm seeing players going for like £100 million, and players who I don't honestly know how much. Okay, they are a bit better than Zaracho, but are they like 10 times, 12 times better than him? No, by far no.
Can I give you just one more context on this? Last week, Manchester United signed a Uruguayan player, right? One of the probably most talented players that are in South America. Pelistri is his name. He's a right winger. He plays for Peñarol. Everyone agree that he is a very, very interesting talent. You know how much Manchester United pay for the player? Just £10 million. So if you compare Saracho to that fee, it actually makes sense.
It's pretty good money.
We are talking about similar fees.
Yeah. It's a shame to see him go. I mean, the money's nice. Great player, bicampeón. Came through as a kid. He's going to go off. He's going to find his way to Europe. I'm pretty confident that.
Hopefully, we love him. I think I still remember the day Racing won the league, and he was literally he couldn't stop crying because he fought really hard to get where he is now. So hopefully, it's good money for him as well. I think he deserves it.
Definitely.
And it's a shame. I'm not happy. I'm not happy that he's leaving, but we love Saracho, and if he wants to go, we should allow him to go.
100%. Just best of luck to the lad, and I hope he really thrives in Brazil and makes his way over to somewhere where we may be able to go and see him play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's money for Racing as well. So
absolutely.
Remember that we are linked to the player, so we will receive 50% of a future sale.
So go dominate the league in Brazil.
League.
Easy league for you to win. Go and boss that league because they don't tackle like they do in Argentina. Get yourself over Europe, that big money, and I just hope that he gets a move that is going to set him up for basically the rest of his life.
Hopefully, yeah.
I'm very much pro player in that regard. We have a comment from Alejandra Patricia Caos. Abrazo académico desde Racing Filial Catamarca.
Yeah.
And she's there with Milito.
Sorry?
Her profile picture, Alejandra's profile picture, just hanging out with Diego Milito.
Yeah. Just
casual.
Yeah. I actually met Alejandra. She was in the UK last year. So I had the chance to go for lunch with Alejandra, her sister, her niece. So it was quite good. Alejandra is such a great person. She has so much energy. It's like Laura, basically. It's the queer for Catamarca.
Awesome. I mean, every filial in the world, everybody needs a Laura in their life. Let's not kid ourselves. talking about contracts, back to my Racing Club football manager save.
Yeah.
So I sold Jonathan Cristaldo because I'm trying to get a bit of revenue, bit of improvement in that department. It's fine. A tasty like £2 million, £2 million. I was thinking quid's in. The player will keep 100% of it because of a clause in the contract. I was like, what? Who wrote that contract?
Yes,
that's a.
so
I was like,
with empty hands and one fierce striker on your squad. Well done.
yeah. I was like, oh great. Well, hey, you know what? Good for you. Fake
You need
computer,
to read
Jonathan.
before you make decisions, Aaron.
Yeah, apparently. Well, yeah, I'm fine with the transfer. Is there anything? Tom, our friend from River Plate, says, don't forget, big moves happen internally in Brazil. Could end up at Flamengo or Palmeiras.
Sorry?
Could do. So Tom reminds us that big moves occur in Brazil, and he could end up moving to a Flamengo or a Palmeiras and earning that big money in that transfer.
Oh yes, I get what he's saying. Yeah, that's true. The Brazilian football is famous for internal transfers and being paid, especially Palmeiras and Flamengo, who are their financial power is massive in comparison to the other teams in Brazil, and not to say the entire South America. But Flamengo and Palmeiras are filthy rich. Filthy rich. So yeah, that could be a destination for Saracho as well. If he does well for Atlético Mineiro.
You thought with all that money that Flamengo have sloshing around that they'd have beaten Liga de Quito in the 2008 Copa Libertadores final, but couldn't get it done.
Fluminense.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? It was. It was. So, I don't know.
But
who was on the bench for Liga de Quito that day? Who was the coach?
Patón Bausa.
It was indeed crying in his jeans. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what is this? Why is this man wearing jeans? It's the biggest game of his life. Casual.
I love it. No, they lost final to Independiente del Valle, actually. Flamengo lost final to Independiente del Valle during this Copa Libertadores. But there's a secret there. Independiente del Valle, they play in the altitude, and they are quite a very good team, right? They're a very decent team. They won the Sudamericana last year, and they play really aggressive, high pressure, intensity football. Yeah.
That's gonna do for anybody. I mean,
money cannot buy results in the altitude. That's what we learn from that.
We remember what happened when Maradona took Argentina to La Paz.
And Argentina playing Bolivia on Wednesday, so I'd rather not talk about that yet.
Shall we dip into international corner? How have Argentina been doing?
One match play as part of the qualifying games to the World Cup. Argentina won 1-0 against Ecuador. I couldn't watch it. It was too late for the UK time. Like, I think the kickoff was like 2 in the morning or something like that. I watched highlights, and it looks boring and flat. Proper international football.
Are you sure you didn't put Wales on by accident?
Messi scored a penalty, and that was it, basically.
Good. The Pope lives in Rome. Papa Francisco lives in Rome, and bears sleep in the woods. All these good stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Is there anything else that we have missed in our whirlwind tour of Racing Club de Avellaneda?
No, just a couple of things regarding football. We still don't know what's going on with the Women's League, so we are waiting for more updates on that. I think training has restarted under a very strict protocol, I believe. Men are playing next week against Estudiantes de Mérida, and it will be the last match of the group stages.
Yeah.
If Racing wins, we will need to wait for Nacional's results to see if we finish first or second in the group.
And Nacional obviously playing Alianza Lima.
Yeah, they're playing
Maybe
at Alianza. However, there's no fans, so I'm not sure whether there's a home advantage anymore in football until fans are allowed back into stadiums. And Alianza have been really, really poor.
they've been bad.
So, I don't have any expectation of Alianza getting a point from that match. So I guess Racing, to ensure that we finish first, we will need to score we will need a solid win against Estudiantes, probably 2 or 3 goals, to ensure that we qualify and we in the first position in the group. Will potentially would give us an easier opposition in the best of round of 16.
Estudiantes Merida, they're not exactly one of the big names, or at least one of the names that I'm familiar with from Venezuelan football. You expect it to be Caracas or who else do they play? Deportivo Táchira.
Yeah.
And Zamora.
Yeah, Estudiantes is not one of the usual names we see in the continental competitions. They can score goals. I think we saw that in their performance during the Copa Libertadores, but they also are quite fragile at the back. So I think that's definitely. I mean, Racing are favorites, and we should win comfortably. But they can be dangerous. They can score goals. So it's not as straightforward as we think. Probably
could be a good game though.
Yeah,
could be fun. Well, that's what we are looking forward to. That'll be on the 21st so that'll be next Wednesday. I want to say it is next Wednesday, and you can watch that live in English if that is your flavor on Live Score.
Yeah, if you are based in the UK, so it's only UK. Live Score are streaming all the Copa Libertadores matches on their app with commentary in English, but it's commentary in English from South American people, so they are very well informed of South American football. I actually enjoy a lot all the commentary. I think it's really, really, really good. And it's but if you are in other countries in Europe, it's not the case because the Copa Libertadores rights are owned by other companies. But yeah, if you're in the UK, just enjoy it. It's quite good. Libertadores for free. We don't have to pay anything.
You can't complain because, like, honestly, as somebody who's trying to been watching it since the 2000s, it's been a rough journey. Let's just
always kind of trying to find, and I'm going to raise my hand here, like live streaming, illegal streaming.
No.
Because there's no official one. If there is an official, I'm happy to pay for it. But there isn't an official streaming, so it was really hard. So now there's an official one, and it's for free, and we love that. I think it's great. I hope we can have that for in the upcoming years as well.
I mean this completely, like, honestly, I don't do illegal streaming. It's just not a thing I do. But
I thought if there is an
official no judgment. One, there's no judgment. There's no judgment.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But if it's Racing, it is an official streaming, I need to find a way to watch it.
So I'm with you. What I do instead, though, is I listen to it on the radio. I listen to Racing 24. Yeah, 24, that's the one. Racing 24 or Radio Continental. Occasionally have Racing games on. So I will listen to it because that's how I started listening to Racing. It was the amazing podcast work, and Spanish that I didn't really understand, but I could sort of get behind it when somebody scored, and it was very exciting.
That's a very fair approach, and I should copy that. I will try. I can't promise the same.
I mean, hey, you know, you've got Racing 24 on the radio, and you've got your slightly sus stream on the telly. Sounds like a dream living. I just want to say, if anybody's like, Darren Paul, I thought you were all about the dry life. I am. I'm drinking a drink called Root Beer, which is a delicious soda.
Non-alcoholic beer, right?
That is correct. Sin alcohol.
Sin alcohol. Right, I think that's it. Just a quick message from my side, Darren. Just to say hello to all the filial members. It has been tough 5-6 months. We haven't been able to get together, but we've been in touch. We've been talking a lot in WhatsApp, especially since football is back. And I don't know you, but I find that quite interesting because it means that the filial is alive and everyone really wants to get together, but we are following the rules, and that's what we should be doing. So in a way, I'm proud of the behavior that we are showing.
We've been very strict, even when the pictures about a month ago, actually, pretty much a month ago today, started doing the rounds of an asado around your house and the FIBA Basketball World Cup final and the glorious demolition of Gimnasia y Esgrima La Plata. We stayed put. We stayed where we were. We followed the rules, and we've been enjoying our chat in the group chat. So if you want a little bit of that, get in touch with us. See about joining the filial. Whether you're from London, you're from Kettering, you're from Cornwall, you could be from the north of Scotland, you could be from the island of Skye.
You can be from Wales as well.
People, hey, come on. We need more Welsh people. Alejandra is back saying, Acá Racing por el Mundo hoy en Radio.
There's a program in Radio 24 called Racing por el Mundo. It's all about all basically they invite filiales to talk. We've been on that program. We've been on that show. And we are sponsoring the show because it's a fantastic show. So the Londres filial or the UK filial is sponsoring Racing por el Mundo. We have a really nice advert, actually. I would recommend. But really, really nice people. We are all the time in touch with them. They're fantastic, and they keep us connected with all the filiales. So they do a great work. So
make sure you remind me, and we will make them a little jingle or something to go in as well.
Cool.
Repay it back. All right. So, is there anything more from you, good sir?
Not really. Maybe a couple of probably we can say our Instagram account, Twitter account, and where everyone can find us.
Absolutely. You can find us, our Twitter at Racing Club UK, Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Racing Club UK. We are getting more and more content out all of the time. And just watch this space as the football is coming back more and more regularly. We're going to have more and more stuff on there, and it's just a big conversation. So get involved. You've seen what happens when you watch live. Loads of people commenting in the comments. Beautiful way to meet more Racing fans in the UK, because believe me, I know what it's like to be a Racing fan and feel like you're the only Racing fan around or in the UK. Before I was put in touch with Nacho, I was alone. I was on an island of Racing Club. And now we have a family, a togetherness. The filial is going stronger than ever. So get in touch with us on our social media. Nacho, how can people find you, the individual, on social media?
Both, so I'm at Nacho Tier in Twitter and at Nacho Tierno in Instagram. So those
you started posting on there now. You started to.
I just opened my Instagram account, but I'm not really good with that. I'm still struggling with it, but I'm too old, Darren. I'm too old for Instagram.
Never.
I find it quite easy to navigate. So especially even for Racing news, I think it's very, very, very good for like visuals and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm getting there.
If you, for whatever reason, want to hear what I have to think about Racing Club, basketball, and/or politics, I'm on Twitter at AuedsTouch, AuedsTouch, named after the finest centre midfielder to ever grace Chilean football. I think that's going to do it for us this evening, my friend. So,
yeah.
Thank you so much. If you've watched live, if you've listened on download, on your podcast app, whatever, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be back real soon to talk more Racing Club de Avellaneda, the greatest football team the world has ever seen. Thank you for joining us, and we'll speak to you very soon.